Okay guys, good morning, good afternoon, good day, good morning, good afternoon, and if I don't see you later, good evening. Vlog 100 is a Q&A, so I've got a few questions from some people which I shall attempt to answer whilst riding home on a motorcycle after spending all night awake. So this is going to end in one of two ways. Could end in one of three ways, but never mind. Before we come to the conclusion of how this video is going to end, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, don't forget to hit the notification button. Also, I'd love to hear from you guys what videos you'd like to see from me in the future. I most definitely want to do more how-to videos, but I'll be interested. If there's anything in particular you want to see, drop me a comment below in the comment section. Before I get started, I'd like to say a big thank you to @6nifty for giving me some advice last week. It was very good, thank you very much. If you need some advice about YouTube or anything else, go pay him a visit. In fact, ask him the most awkward question you can and tell him I sent you. That lorry's making a funny noise. Anyway, so let's get this started. So, the first question, which was asked by Riding the Alps and Doodle on a motorcycle, is when did I start biking and why? Well, that's a very interesting question. And my story starts when I was, believe it or not, 4 or 5 years old. No, I wasn't lucky enough to have a motorcycle on that particular point, but being an army brat, we went around a lot of army shows, little tattoos and so forth, and it was at one such event I came across a display team called the White Helmets, and they are the Army's motorcycle display team. And I fell in love with them so much that I said, I want to do that when I get older. So that's where my passion for motorcycling originated and started from. So the first thing I did when I was young, I had this kind of motorcycle sidecar pedal type thing, contraption, whatever you want to call it. So when I got home, I immediately recruited my sister, who, believe it or not, when I was a child, absolutely hated me, and I have lots of proof to prove that. So I got her to pedal while I stood in the sidecar bit, and she got bored and decided that was enough and got off said bike. Gravity then promptly took over. I fell and split my head open. There was blood pouring everywhere, but at least I got to riding an ambulance, and I thought it was great. And of course, adding to the factors that I've got ADHD and autism, well, the rest is history. I got so obsessed with motorcycles, it was unbelievable. I then, although my mother wouldn't let me have one, which was really bizarre. And then at the age of 16, I managed to get myself my first motorcycle, which was a 50cc 2-stroke MZ. Simpson MZ. 3 gears, and I bought it, and it needed a new wiring harness, and some other bits and pieces doing to it. So I fixed it up, got it working, and completely rewired the damn thing as well from a very crude wiring diagram that I had managed to get from the local MZ dealer. I rode that until I blew the crankcase seals out, and then it would never work after that ever again, which was a damn shame because it was a very nice bike. So that was my very first bike, and that's basically how I got into biking. And then, as they say, the rest is history. From then onwards, I rode lots of bikes, both legally and illegally, but I didn't just say that, so ignore that. Okay, so Doodle was asking how I got started with motovlogging and why. Well, this again is another going back to, well, actually this is probably going back to the fact is that when I first started doing this, I had come out of some very failed relationships, some very seriously failed relationships. I'd had huge problems in my place of work. I was so low that I didn't think I could get any lower. I was well and truly in the pit of depression and despair. And it was at this point in my life that I discovered I had severe dyslexia, even though at this point I'd also got a diploma from university, which was quite shocking, especially to find out that I'd got severe dyslexia. And then I discovered I'd got an autistic spectrum disorder, ADHD, and an auditory processing deficit, which, to be quite honest with you, it really did take a lot of fighting to get that. But during this period, I started watching people on YouTube. One person in particular I started watching who made a huge difference for me was Gabby Hanna from The Gabby Show. Started watching her, then David Dobrik, Casey Neistat, and then I came across this weird bunch of people who rode around on motorcycles talking to you, basically like what I'm doing now. The first person would be Walterific. I really did fall in love with his videos and his whole style. It really did make me laugh. And then I came across the likes of Chase on Two Wheels and Motornosity, and as they say, the rest is history. I already had the motorcycle, so I thought, oh, let's go get a camera. So I got a camera, started playing around, started practicing. I'd always loved being like, or wanted to do videos, films, etc. But I'd never got around to doing it, and I just realised, what the heck? I'd got nobody to hold me back, nobody to stop me from doing what I wanted to do, so I did. There we go. I just grabbed a camera, stuck it on my helmet, went round, made some videos, and as I say, the rest is history. Just over 12 months later, I've made 100 films. I've learned a hell of a lot. I'm still learning a hell of a lot, but it's been fun and I enjoy every minute of it. So that's generally the reason why there. Now the next one from Riding the Alps, he wants to know, pizza or sausage? Now my brain's telling me that this might be a very trick question, so I'm going to answer it with the fact is that there's nothing wrong with a bit of pizza and there's nothing wrong with a bit of sausage on said pizza either. So there we go. So I'll have both. I'll have sausage pizza. How about that? Does that work? Okay. He's also asked how many bikes have I owned. So I will work this one out. I think I've owned about 11 bikes. Some of them got stolen, some of them didn't. In fact, I had one bike that was stolen, given back to me. I'd actually crashed it a few months previously on the A43, and it wouldn't work. It never started after that. I managed to get it home, switched it off, went out to it the next day, and it just wouldn't start. So I just kind of left it in the back garden, and then lo and behold, it got stolen, and then 7 days later, they returned it back to me. Because obviously they couldn't get it started either, which was quite hilarious to say it came back. He's also asked me about riding, touring or short trips. Well, both. I love long trips and I also love short trips. I use my bike more than I use my car. I'm an all-round rider. I'll ride in rain, snow, hail, freezing cold, boiling sun, anything. I'll ride in it, should I say. The next question is from Red Shoe Moment, and she wants to know what my fascination is with photographing lampposts. And as I am going down a street which is covered in lampposts, what more can I say? Do they or do they not look absolutely gorgeous? You know, just the sexy standy-uppiness of them. And the fact is that you can either get them with one light on it or two lights on it, or yeah. Do you know what? I have no idea what else to say on that one. The story behind that one was that I think got onto something about names, and unfortunately I have statistically the worst name in the world, that being Nigel, because most people usually associate the name Nigel with somebody who is boring and spends his time photographing mundane stuff, or even talking about mundane stuff. And believe me, yeah, I can do that, but I haven't got a monotone voice. I'm supposed to talk like this or something like that and go, oh look, this lamppost is from the 1960s.
As you can see, compared to one from the 1961, it has a unique shape and colouring and different letters. And did you know that there was some interestingly not so interesting fact about it? But there we go. So that's basically my fascination of photographing lampposts, and I really should send her some lamppost photographs for that one. Now the next question comes from Theo, and he asks, out of all the moto vloggers or fellow moto vloggers, who would I like to meet and why? Now unfortunately that is a very long list. Although saying that, from the YouTube spectrum itself, I have actually met somebody from YouTube, and I've got to say I was certainly not disappointed. But from the moto vloggers world, God, the first person I would like to meet would be Joe, or Jojo, or Joanne Benz, purely because I've got to take my hat off to her as a single parent raising an autistic child. All I would like to do is just go over to her, give her a big hug and say you're doing really, really great and keep up the good work. And that's coming from somebody who has struggled his entire life with autism, so he knows what it's like. But definitely Joe Benz, or Joanna Benz, I'm sure it's, please forgive me if I've pronounced your name wrong. No excuse, I was up all night, but that's still no excuse. So yes, that's definitely one person I'd like to meet. The next person would obviously be Walterific for introducing me to the said wonders of moto vlogging. I really did like his videos. They did make me laugh, and I thought he was absolutely crazy. I would love to be able to do videos as brilliantly as he does. I really, really would. And then the other one would be Chase on Two Wheels. Most definitely Chase on Two Wheels. Just purely because I'd like to, watching him when he was fixing the Ducati, all I wanted to do was keep jumping on an aeroplane, flying over there and saying, no, you do it this way, you hold the tool this way, because being somebody who is also an OCD and a qualified mechanic, there was a few things that got me a bit OCD-ish, and I wanted to go, no, you do it like this, don't do it like that, you want to do it like this. And lastly, but obviously there is more, this list is not definitive, there are a lot more people on there that I would most definitely like to meet. But the other one would be Doodle on a motorcycle, purely because we share the same two passions, one being sharks and marine creatures, and the other one's being motorcycles, although she does prefer the more cruisery type. The only cruiser I like is the Honda DN01. I always used to say DNA, but it's not, it's DN01. And the fact is that we pretty much started vlogging at the same time, and I have no idea how we found each other, but strangely enough we did. We found each other while my Instagram page was taking off, Doodle's YouTube page was taking off. I think I ran a competition and she did win a t-shirt, which I'll put in the video so you can see. By the way, all these people I'm talking about, I am going to link down to their social media accounts and everything, so you can go and just pester the living daylights out of them. So that's basically, yeah, so that's who I'd like to meet. And of course, I can't, this next question kind of links in, because there is another person that I would like to meet. I would like to do a collaboration with or something, and that would be at Maximus 2 Wheelicus. Purely because the fact is, he is a fellow Scot like me. Yes, I don't sound it, I am in fact Scottish, or at least part of me is. And Theo asked me does Maximus 2 Wheelicus's voice give me an erection? Because it does for him. I have got to say, unfortunately, no, not at all, sorry. Scottish accents do nothing for me. Irish accents, on the other hand, is a completely different matter. And if you happen to be female, red hair, with an Irish accent, please get in contact with me, leave your details in the comment section below,
or at least send me an email or tweet me, in fact, at Nige-Rider, because yeah, I'd definitely love to hear your voice. And I do believe this might be the last question, and I think it is the last question he asks, and that is, did I know that riding the Alps rides in leather lederhosen? And I've got to say, I promised not to tell, but yes, I did actually. Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry, riding the Alps. I've, you know, I have not had much sleep, so I thought, you know what, I've got to be honest. There's no two ways about it. So unfortunately, yes, I did know he rode in leather lederhosens, and apparently that's all he rides in. Sometimes, other times it's usually just a kind of hammock. So yes. Oh, actually, I do believe there was another question actually I missed out, and that was something to do with thongs or pants. I don't know where that's gone. Maybe I kind of deliberately... Oh no, there it is. Yes, so that was from riding the Alps. Yes, bloody hell, I forgot about that one. Thongs or pants? Well, actually depends on who's wearing them. Personally, I prefer a good pair of boxers, because one doesn't want to create too much hot air and temperature around one's betties. Yes, you know what I mean. If it's a woman, well, that would depend on her derriere, because there are some women whose derriere does not look very good in a thong, and there are some women whose derriere looks better in a pair of pants. There we go. So hopefully that was very informative and entertaining for you guys, because I have absolutely no idea what this is going to be like until I get home and attempt to edit it, which, well, who knows? Well, you just never know, to be quite honest with you. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, not washing, but then please do wash as well, because you don't want to have smelly people around. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will see you on Saturday with another video. I am going home to get some sleep as well as edit a video. I'll probably end up sitting in the chair drooling like an old person whilst editing a video. And yeah, don't forget you can get me on social media. Follow me on Facebook, tweet me at Nige-Rider, and stalk me on Instagram. And yeah, and that's about it really. All I know is that a bug has killed itself on my visor, and it is bugging the crap out of me now. I know if I do this, which I've just done, it's going to end up where is it? No, I think he's bloody well done it on the inside of my visor. Oh, he's done that bugger. Yep, he's died on the inside of my visor. So he must have passed through it. God, I must be driving in too fast. So, and I'm waffling now anyway. Goodbye everybody, cheerio, good night, God bless. I'm going to sleep, but not now. See you Saturday. Bye!